Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Party Wipe, episode 49, where we work on our Roguelike Deckbuilder in Godot. Party Wipe is a Roguelike Deckbuilder where you draft an RPG party and lead them on adventures through dungeons. Hey, Lost Sleep Games, how's it going? Oh, the drop. That was quite the drop. I'll play this while I get things set up, I guess. We're kind of ignoring the important work of getting actions and combat sorted out. We've been kind of pigeonholing in like scaling the UI properly to get the right balance. I am not comfortable with where we're currently at. We need to make some more adjustments, but we are getting there. We are getting there, I think. So I think I'll work on it a little today, and then hopefully tomorrow. Hey, Mr. Magoo, how's it going? How's the Bare Necessities OS going? Okay, all right. Good to hear. All right, so anyone who remembers our UI from before, it was very big, it was very crowded. There was almost no negative space. We are getting there, I would say, in terms of somewhere more comfortable. We'll full screen it. The buttons that you can't see, I think are just right. The two rosters in the opposite corners need to be changed. But I've got a new card design. Another new card design. I've been doing like a new card design every day. I like this. I think we can work with this, at least for now. It's not perfect. It feels a little small when you compare it with like Slay the Spire or Hearthstone or whatever. But it's like our game's not just a card game. So I feel like the three elements in the center, I feel like these are aligned. I feel like scaling between the three central elements of like the game board, which I've widened by one tile. I think the game board, the timeline on the top here, and the cards are pretty good. I feel like that's a good set of ratios. I think the things on the sides need some work. I think the card is fine too, because I need to fix that. The turn confirmation thing is in the old viewport resolution, but I think this is all fine. Here's our. I need to work on card previewing. The mechanism for card previewing, but aside from that, I think we're doing okay. I want more texturing on the cards eventually, maybe, but for now, I think this is all right. You like the card design? Yeah, I like it too. It's a little bare, but I think it's good. I think we can improve it. I don't want to make it much bigger. The icons are the right size. So what I want to work on today is I want to work on raising the scale of the character sheet. I want the icons of all the equipment to be the same scale as the icons everywhere else. I want to do the same thing for the roster tabs. So I want to scale up the tabs so that there's more room for the text and so that the icons can be full-sized. I think if we do that, I'll be a lot happier because then the icons will be like big relative to everything else, and I won't feel like... What I really want to avoid is the whole individual elements of the UI being like too small, too tiny. Yeah, I also moved the hand up so that the cards are fully on screen just to fill the space. I kind of like it. We might even do some like idle animation stuff. Because our problem is we're going to have a lot of negative space now, which is good. But we need to make it not feel too sterile or empty. But yeah, I like the cards being fully visible. I might even increase the bump they get. From hovering over them. But those are minor changes. Those are minor changes. We're going to change the radio now. To our huge. You got the initial sketches back from the capsule artist. It's looking perfect. Super excited. Hey, that's great. I'm going to be starting work with my capsule artist maybe this weekend a little bit. I got a big used D&D art book, and I've been pouring through that. I poured through the first half, and I'm going to look at the second half. Hey, Nanigans! There you are. I worked on this some more last night. Ignore the corners. How do you feel about the central pillar? I think this is, like, close. I need to do some repositioning, maybe. Like, this banner, I probably need more space, but I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. I widened the map a little bit. I don't think I want to make the map taller, but I did widen it. Add a little depth, maybe give ranged characters a little bit more protection. Make it a little more challenging. I think we're getting close to something that I feel okay about. This is very clearly like a desktop maximized kind of view now. It's going to be a little rough maybe on like Steam Deck. You think it's looking good now? Yeah, I think the central pillar I feel good about. We're going to work on the tabs and the character sheet, making those the right size. But I sized up the cards again. We have a new card design that I like. It's consistent with the language we use on the character sheets in terms of like how the spacing and the things go and everything. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better about it. I'm still a little annoyed that we had to size up the whole thing to 1080p to do this, but you know, you do what you gotta do. Move this up to 12. I think that's what we did everywhere else. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, we're okay with the cards. We're okay with the game board. There will be more room for tool tipping and stuff now, which is nice. But yeah, what we need to do is we need to size up the character sheet. I don't want to just 2x the whole character sheet because I like the text. I think the text size we're working with right now is good. What I really want to do is increase the size of the iconography. We will see. We will see how we feel about that. And also the tabs. We want to scale up the tabs so that they probably fill out more like this. So the icons need to be full size, and then that will just buy us a lot more space for the text. Everything won't feel quite so choked. Yeah, no worries, Nanigans. Thanks for hanging out. LSG, you think you're going to start on some Power Wash Simulator style texture mapping today? So you can add a scrubbing brush to the game? Ooh. Feels like a must-have now that you've decided on the name? Yeah, I could totally see you going for that kind of the environmentalist angle. What's the game that I'm thinking of? Spilled. This isn't totally your game, but I think of like this kind of thing, which was neat. They had like a Terra Nil, like you were cleaning up the ocean deal. I still want to play this. Obviously very different than the game that you're making, but I feel like people love the idea of cleaning up the ocean. I feel like that's something everyone is all for. In theory, I don't think anyone actually wants to do the work involved, but yeah, this is great sort of thing. How much did they sell this for? $5.99? This is a lot of game for $5.99. That makes me a little self-conscious. Oh, can you put out this fire? Oh man, that's so sick. Yeah, I need to play this game. I think I have it. Damn, this is a lot of game for $5.99. Okay. No. Rip. I gotta make this game worth $6.66. Got a lot of work ahead of me on that. Shenanigans, yeah, you think just increasing the padding on some stuff and the cards and the character sheets would increase the readability and prominence just a bit more? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think the cards are a wee bit small. The problem is there's no information I really want to put on the cards. I kind of want the card information to be in, like, the equipment page. Which we might have a little bit more room for. Maybe not. We'll have a little more room when we increase the character sheet. Not like a lot, but a little. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's a little different because we don't... There really isn't very much in the cards. It's a little awkward. I like the little background, like little icon wash that I do. It doesn't seem to impact readability much. We'll have to see. People need us to charge more for their games. It's hard to do when Silksong is $20. Hard to do. Hey, Nix. How's it going? Thanks for the hydrate. I do like this card format. It feels like the little, the screaming mouth from, like, D&D. Like the big, demon's mouth. Feels like each of the cards is like a little screaming mouth. We have a long way to go, though. We have a long way to go to make this look professional and look like something someone would spend money on, but we're getting there. We're getting there. What's really important is to start working on the underlying mechanical stuff. I could artificially inflate the card size by expanding the padding a little bit, the bordering around them, but I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. The character sheet we're going to work on, though, and the tabs. You're struggling with level design, you're going to aim more for depth over breadth by adding more systems, making levels denser. Yeah, it's hard to gray box that stuff out. For me especially, I needed to do a lot of UI work to have an idea of what is actually going to be in the game. I like this size map though. I feel like I have a little bit of room here where I could add some obstacles and add like little alcoves or something that are kind of protected. I don't really want to make the map bigger. I acknowledge that I could. I just don't really want to. Like I could go down, I could increase the height of the map again, but then we're back to where we started, where everything is overlapped too much. I don't know if I want to start with the tabs or the character sheet. Maybe we do the tabs first. Tabs seems like a good way to start. Maybe the character sheet would be smarter. I'll name this character sheet small. We'll open this up. We'll save it out to a larger version. And now we're going to just start splicing some stuff. There's the base. So how much bigger does this need to be? We could increase the padding between elements a little bit. We need to double the size of these icons. there's 3 of these. So this needs to increase by at least 32, 48. Maybe another couple here, couple here. Let's add another 64 horizontal. Maybe something like that. I'm just going to make the canvas a lot bigger. We'll trim it down when we're done. We're just going to break this up and move it around a bit. This build is giving you an idea. It'd be pretty technical. Doing like a vacuum that sucks up oil. Yeah, that does sound technical. Yeah, I think it takes a lot of skill to be able to gray box something and get a feel for whether it's working or not. I think that takes a lot of good abstract reasoning skills that, like, I don't necessarily have. All right, so let's start by getting these icons in the right state. So I'm just going to copy the iconography layer out. And we are just going to improve this part. We're just going to scale these up is what we're going to do first. This is going to be a very A-sprite heavy day. The only real question is, do I double up on this? I think we just start by doubling it. So we take one of these. Am I having a hard time here? Should be 38. Oh, it's 36. That's why. I kind of liked these little icons. We could try doing the same border setup, but I don't think it'll read quite as well at a larger scale. It's not super consistent with what we're otherwise doing. Oop. I think I'm going to try to watch The Green Knight again tonight. I'm gonna actually give it the attention it deserves. Kind of feeling like it. That and read through my D&D book. It's D&D art book. And I picked up cheap. Got it used. Finding some really nice stuff from especially the early history of D&D. Finding some great stuff to use. So we'll use this double size icon for these. So the thing is, now we need to position. So we need to take this arrangement and recreate it at double scale here. And the real question is what kind of proportioning to use. I don't want to go too crazy with positioning as far as like giving like way too much room, but we do need some degree of balance here. Got a hard stop at 3, don't let me forget. So yeah, we're scaling the character sheet up. But we're not changing all of it. We're going to keep the same relations for like the text fields. But we're going to scale up the icons in the center to emphasize them more. Hey Rhiannon, how's it going? Kind of liked this kind of separation thing we got. I'm wondering if it makes sense to like label these areas like armor. Weapons is the wrong word, which is maybe the only reason I don't want to do this. I think maybe just the same division makes sense without necessarily needing to label them. Does mean I need more of a barrier here. So instead of 4, this would be more like 12. Like that. And then off-centered. I'm sorry. Sorry you got hit with so much vet stuff. But they're members of the family, so you know. Glad things are going better. And I think we have an even greater obligation to our animals to make sure that they're, you know, healthy and stuff. I'm not going to say greater than we do to people, but that's like the big thing. And I've talked to people who are like vets and stuff and how tough it is because animals really can't advocate for themselves. Like they don't have a way of being like, they don't have a way to just tell you something's wrong. You have to be very attentive to like how they normally behave, how they're currently behaving, what's weird, what's different. It's very tough. And then you have to figure out, and you have to make a judgment call about whether it's like, oh, are they just having a weird day? Is there something actually wrong with them? Or do they just like eat too much dirt? Which could also cause something to be actually wrong with them, but you know what I mean. It's a lot. Okay, so this character sheet is big. It's gonna be big. All right. It's a little bigger than I anticipated, but that's fine. So we need to go even wider here, conceivably. Actually, maybe not. Well, actually, I don't know. Let's see. So now what we need to do, since we're kind of doing this bit by bit here, so what we need to do now, hey, uncreative name 6, how's it going? What's up? We're working on scaling up a character sheet from this old version, which had very small iconography. We're scaling up the iconography, but we're leaving pretty much everything else the same. We'll probably provide a little bit more room for like names and stuff, I think. I think we'll probably add a little bit more room, which is good because it's not that I have more fields I want to represent here. What it is that I think I need... I actually don't know. We might just have more negative space, which is good, which will be good. I guess what we want to do here also is we want to have spacing around the card, but I am going to not worry about that at the moment. I did like the small framing, but I think when you get to this scale, the small framing stops working. Border Collie, Australian cattle dog mix. That is a high... That sounds like a very high intensity dog. Yeah, it's funny when dogs are dramatic. What happened here? Oh, I flipped the sides. That's why. All right, so what else do we need? So we need another panel here. Can this be the size of the card? I think it can. So let's maybe draw a line under this and see if this works. My inclination is to not have quite this much space on the bottom. But honestly, I might be overcrowding things unnecessarily, so maybe providing some space around this would be good. Like, this feels like too much, but I'm kind of willing to try it. I'm gonna try some stuff. I'm too tired to work. Y'all take this shift. Yeah, take it easy, Arnio. It is a marathon, not a sprint, right? Do not overdo it. Any amount of extra work that you think you're gonna like get away with by burning yourself out, you will pay for many-fold over. The cost of burnout is so much higher than whatever people try to get out of it. This is right. This is wrong. This is right. Oh, this feels wrong. Yeah, it is. Like that. Okay. All right, we're gonna try this. This seems like this will be fine. We'll do this the simpler way. It's gonna be a very art-heavy stream today. But I do need to start working on card actions, encoding card actions, being able to express card actions. All right, so the only real question, so we have this nailed to the bottom here like this, with a lot of space on the side. I think that's going away because of just how wide the icons are now. I am going to drop the base here, as it were. Hey, Pigorly and Bad Cop. Oh my glob. What happened in the housing market while you were gone? You can thank Anthropic and OpenAI. How's it going, Bad Cop? Welcome back. I'm just going to expand this up, like, kind of far, so we don't really know how far up this is going to get yet. Not going to worry about it too much. Sprintathon, that's a good word for game dev. They turn all the apartments into data centers. Not yet, but soon. Did everyone opt out of Amazon's Gen AI BS? Yeah, I don't know if that applies per channel or per user or how that works, but yeah, I opted out of that. All right, we're trying to like put more. We're trying to give things some room to breathe here and not be so precious about scaling. We've got the room. Width-wise, this is only going to be about an 6 sixth or a seventh or something of the screen space. Should be fine. I'm open to having the dividers again, doing the dividers. I kind of like the dividers. Open question about whether we do some kind of card backing thing. I think we will probably. Probably what we're gonna do here. But I want to position. Yeah, I want to start figuring out where these are gonna go. Where these are gonna go. So we'll just grab these and we'll figure it out. Doing kind of an upscaling thing. You're moving to Ohio? I feel like I feel like they're gonna have a lot of data centers in Ohio, but I don't know. I'd say if you want to avoid the data centers, you could move to space, but I don't even think space is protected now. You know? Nowhere is safe from Elon. Okay, this is a little weird, but I kind of see where I could put this. I don't really know how tall it's gonna be. 2, 3, 4. And then like... it's a little awkward. Honestly, we could make the other text fields big as well. Like the level 1. We kind of have the room. Okay, let's play a bit of a move things around here. Just want to avoid 5K a month in rent. SF is over. Yeah, tell that to people paying 5K a month in rent. Those people seem to not think that SF is over. Tell them that. Then SF could secretly not be over. It's per channel. Yeah. Now, my point is that I didn't think it was per user. So I think it's on the channel. It's on the individual channels to make sure that they're doing that. You know what I'm going to do real quick is we're going to do a quick size budget. So we're going to take this, which is 160 by 192. If I took this and I scaled this to 3, which would increase the size by 50%. So that would be 240. So this is 240 for... Yeah, so 256 is big, but it's doable. The only real question is, do we need that much? And this is overly scaled, because we're just blindly 2xing the scale of this. Or not 2x, 1.5xing the scale, so it looks weird, but... What I want is I want the icons in the character sheet to be the same size. I also want the icons in the tabs to be the same size. So we're going to redo these. And yeah, so this is all... Proportionally, this is wrong, but I'm just looking to see how much space we have. So if this is 240. This is 240 plus this. So if it was 256, it would stretch out to like here. And that's too close. That's a little too much. So maybe we don't fully want 256. Maybe we tighten it up a little. Hey, Jacob. How's it going? Arneo, so you flipping the switch does very little then since you don't stream? I don't know, but I think so. Oh my god, the magic cards. How's everyone doing today? Hey, Sapphire, you're mostly lurking today. You see they redesigned I redesigned the cards. Yeah, I did. I needed them to be bigger. And I needed them to not look terrible. I had to put somewhere for the level number to be. I'm thinking we just do that for all of the stat numbers. We've got the... Lord knows we have the room. I have some mixed feelings about the watermark. But it doesn't seem to impact readability, so I'm tempted to keep it. If anything, I'm tempted to add it to other cards. I'm tempted to go back to making weapons more character-specific. But I don't know. I'm not sure. We want the watermark for abilities and stuff, so you can tell whose ability a card is. So we need it for character card. Well, we don't need it for character cards, but we definitely want it for ability cards. I'm a little torn on weapons and armor, which doesn't technically need it. Hey, a Y? 404? Thanks for the tip. Thanks for the cold tip. Jacob, you've been going through a little bit of 3D Godot madness. You think you're out the other side? Didn't realize instant shader parameters are like mega limited in web. And you can only have 256 objects at one time, which sounds okay, until you realize even invisible objects and pools eat that up. Yeah. That was definitely a concern for me when I was trying to do some compute shader stuff. Until I realized that in Vulkan, the limit basically doesn't exist. But that doesn't, I don't think that helps web, because, you know, web is not using Vulkan. Yeah, the cap is not 4,000, whatever. If you turn on the extended, some extended stuff, you have to opt into some extended stuff, but you can make the limit in like the millions. All right, so I'm gonna shrink that back down. This doesn't need to be 3x'd. I do need to up the roster tab though. How much room in the cards do I have for the names? That seems like that would have an impact on what I'm trying to do here. So I like these. I like the dimensions here. I'm kind of using these dimensions a little bit. Maybe this is a little thinner than I need it to be. But it looks okay. So what are we looking at in terms of text limit? 128, something like that. What are we talking about in terms of character names? This one now. What's the longest character name? Artificer. God, I don't like the way that this font handles Artificer, but we're just gonna live with it. It's still plenty of room. I think Warlock is the longest one. Warlock. How long do I need? How much space do I need to spell Warlock? Minimum space to spell Warlock is 100. Okay, good to know. Is that at 2x size though? That is at 2x. So it's like 50. Demon Knight. Demon Knight's on 2 lines. That's kind of what I've done. Yeah, I'm still really trying. I'm still really trying to make the early version of this work in the web. It's seeming like it's going to be a stretch. It seems like it's going to be a stretch to do that. Okay, so width-wise, I think we're a little overstretched here. Do a little calculation here. 256, 1.4. About 240. 336. So can I take some space out of this? Can I take 8 out of this? Yes, I can. All right, we're going to go for 240. 240 seems good. So we're going to tighten this up a little. Seems like a good size. Seems consistent with what I'm doing everywhere else. Yeah, I think if you're in a jam, I think you should target web. But yeah, I think if you're making something, you know, commercial, if you could do the early testing on the web, that is really nice. It definitely lowers the bar. What did I do over here? What is wrong with me? Went too far. What the hell did I do? Did I like just delete this part? What is wrong with me? I have no idea what I'm doing or what else is new. Yeah, I moved this part up somehow. Oh my god, wrong layer. Wrong layer Dave strikes again. I did something. I did something wrong. It's okay. We're not overly concerned. I did something here, which seems bad. What the hell is this? All right, so we did that. Now we move these down a bit. Okay, so now the card is 240 wide, which feels good. Let's keep going. Now we're working on the borders, essentially. I'm gonna grab this border. Use this one. What did I call this? No. Portrait? That's dumb. That's what I called it, though. Look at adding these. This. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. This isn't exactly what I want, but this should be fine. Actually, do we want to add a little bit of an extra boundary here? That's 2, and this is 2. We want to move this over by 2. We want to widen this by 2. Like that. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Something like this. And what I can have 1, 2, 3 here. I can have 5. It looks like I have room for 5. I don't really want 5, but see what we can do here. We need to figure out what kind of space we're talking about for the names. All right. See ya, Nanigans. Yeah, we will be here tomorrow. You don't disagree web can be hell? Only if you're on Unity. Only if you're on Unity, Jacob. If you're on Godot, web's pretty easy. Godot, this instance thing was pretty rough. Yeah, well. That doesn't seem like Godot's fault. That seems like an OpenGL problem. And I will move the goalposts. I reserve the right to move the goalposts. So we want this area to be 3. This is a weird number, but we want it to be... All right, is this 240? This is 238, so yeah, okay, good. I did this correctly. So what we want to do is we want to cap this at 360. 336. 336. The way I make progress on this stuff is I just pick an arbitrary limitation. Okay, so 336 is too much. That's more than we need. That's more than we need. That's way more than we need. What was the ratio of the old character sheet? 160 to 192. That's... One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 by 12 by 10. Okay, so can I do this? 12 by 10. It's 5 to 6. Oh, this is awkward. I guess we just make it as tall as we need it to be. I think your mistake is to try to make a 3D game that's got a good web characteristics. Nah, I'm just messing with you. All right, let me do some other stuff, and then we're gonna figure out where we're gonna slot this. Actually, I need to add another one. All right, we're heading into ads. Now, I appreciate you trying to do something in Godot. You know I gotta rib the token Unity developer in the chat. Your back meeting got hijacked. Typical meeting. We're gonna block some stuff out here so I can figure out where this is going. Is this right? No, that's off. So that needs to be over one more. I don't think I'm quite doing this right in terms of breathability, but you know, I think we're all right. What is wrong with me? I just did this. Okay. All right, hold on to your ads. We're in the ads. We'll be back. Hey. Magoo with the 11 months. Yeah, you're almost at the platinum badge. Well done. Arnio, you've been sub for 8 months and not a single one of them you paid for yourself. Yeah, that's a brag. We've got a nice channel. I'll say this about that. There's a sucker born every minute. All right. This is how I do things, where I find some kind of constraint that I think is stable, and I build off of that constraint. And then I keep filling things in until I've done the whole thing. And you know, sometimes that means things need to be done more than once. But it also means sometimes we just get it right. It's like the only way I managed to get traction on things. I did these wrong. These are wrong. Speaking of the devil, I did these wrong. How is this supposed to be? Are they wrong? Is that what I do here? Oh, I guess there's no way to know. Yes. Oh, I actually don't have any examples of this. Interesting. Oh no, here we go. Yes, I did it wrong. Okay. Speaking of doing it wrong and having to do it again. You're after the second one. Yeah, that's right. Huh. This might just be the way it kind of is. We're gonna try this. That's probably better. Hey, Rhiannon. What are we talking about? I'm telling stories I've already told before. You know, that's just growing old. That's certainly something my dad does a lot. And we're happy to hear them again. Every time. But yeah, we're working on this because I'm afraid to work on the actual meaningful work that needs to be done. Which is about actions, things like that. All right, okay, so we need to decide where this is going. This is centered, which I like centered. Centered is good. This is centered relative to this. Oh, maybe it's not. This needs to be up by one more. Okay, that's why we check these things. One more. One skosh. Okay, now it's centered here. But is that right for the thing overall? Okay, the bottom of the half of this seems to be sorted out. The only real question is... what about the top part here, which is where we put text for names and things? I would like more room for names. Like the given name or whatever you want to call it is very crowded. Even this is a little tight. $24. What if it was 24 and 38? What if we did like this? What if we did it like this? So we need to draw a line over this. A meaningful work sometimes needs to cook longer. Yeah, for me, I'm introducing an unnecessary design risk, though. And I know I'm doing it. Which is both the most important and the only important thing to work on right now is to figure out actions. Figure out combat. Figure out what the loop feels like. Anything else is a distraction. And I'm willfully acknowledging that I am distracted. And then I'm distracting myself on purpose because I'm scared. I'm scared that the game mechanically is not going to come together. I'm scared of the sunk cost. I'm scared that mechanically the game is going to feel okay, but not great. Scared about how I'm going to represent AI's combined move plus action, which is not something Into the Breach has to do because they separate the move and the action phases. There's a lot of design uncertainty right now. And I'm letting it get to me a little bit. All right, so what we could do is we could have one of these here. Put one of these here, widen it to an extent. Start with this. I kind of would like a wider... No, maybe not. So what if we did this and then like half? Like what if we then did this again, but we crushed it? I need to put this somewhere. Here we go. What if we crush this in half? You had to do that action, AI action plus move and Fabled Footy. How are you telling the player, communicating that to the player? You don't want to spread anxiety, but a lot does hinge on how combat works, and we don't yet know how combat works. Yes. This is why gray boxing mechanics is good. This is why proving the idea early is good. So I'm putting a lot of effort into things that might just become irrelevant, right? That's the danger. That is the danger when you approach design like this. Wow. Oh, that was almost right. Not quite. I did 28. That's maybe what I want, though. I don't know if I want 24. 24 should be fine. We'll try this. We'll try this for the single line. The single line name. I think this is good room for the single line name. I think there's plenty of breathing room here. Although, what if it was the full one? What if I took this? What if I took this and added 46 to it? Oh, that's really close to what we want. Is this 46? All right, I've run out of room. I'm going to make this thing longer here. Actually, I might just get rid of the other one for now. We have the small version of the character sheet that we can look at and crib from. We can get rid of this. We've run out of room. right, so what did I consider? So I said 240. 240. If I want to use card proportions, 240 times 1.4 is 336. So that's kind of what I want to try. So what if instead of this, we did just the full, we just let it be the full thing? What if we just did that? And then what we would want is like this. Or are you trying to warn the player for the next enemy's turn? Yeah, that's what I do. You just have the AI calculate for each move options they have. Well, not as bluntly as that. Certain AI players use a cache list of important positions, try to find overlaps. Yeah, so... Okay, and for the player, when you start an ability, it shows all the targets that can be reached. Yeah, that's all good stuff. Nanigan says, if you're trying to broadcast what the enemy will do, it shouldn't be any harder than just making the enemy actually take their turn, you would think. Just instead of actually moving them, you just draw some indicator instead. Yeah, I'm not worried about the decision making. The thing I want to do is I want to do the into the breach thing, which is you can see what the next person is going to do. And so part of your turn needs to be spent deciding if you want to mitigate that. And into the breach does it easily because it breaks up. So it basically, all of the enemies move. Then the player both moves and acts. And then all of the enemies act. And that's easier to do when you do party-based stuff, where like the whole enemy team goes, and then the whole player team goes, and then the whole enemy team goes again. It's harder to do that on the individual character timeline that I want to do. Harder to do it there. It's also harder to communicate clearly that this person is going to move and then act, or act and then move. It's a little tricky. It's a little trickier to communicate that than I would like. And I could cheat a little bit. Like I could just make it so that they kind of don't. Like they kind of just move and then they act. And like I could break it up. And I haven't decided how I want to solve this problem yet. 333. That's so close. I want 336. 336. There it is. So I've got 2 extra pixels here. What do I want to do with 2 pixels? I mean, it doesn't have to be this big, and I guess actually I'm motivated to not make it that big. Let's go based on what we need, not what we quote-unquote want in that respect, maybe. I could add some stuff down here. I don't really want to do that. Could widen this a little. Don't necessarily want to do that either. What's 160 divided by 192? Oh, that's awful. How did I settle on that? It's 192. Is it better expressed the other way? Divided by 160. Yeah, 1.2. Okay, well, maybe let's try 1.2 instead of 1.4. Let's see if we can make that work. Because I would like plenty of space for the character sheet. 288. We can maybe make 288 work. Let's see if we can do it. This should be 24. Off by 1. Almost managed it. It also, we have 4 more pixels that we could use. 319. Okay, so we're nowhere now close to 288. I mean, I guess it doesn't need to be anything. Doesn't need to be anything. I do like some of these relationships. Like, I kind of want to move this up so that it's like... kind of want it to be in line with the other one here. That's off by 2. Use ghost-like representation. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something like that, I think. It's gonna be a little confusing. Yeah, these are some good ideas. Just move a ghost outline of the character, then have a square with an exclamation mark or something where they're gonna attack. Yeah, yeah, it's doable. It's doable. We don't really do transparency, but what I can do is I can have like a black background and then transparency. So we'll need to like backdrop anything behind the transparent character. We can do it. It can be done. It's doable. Oh man, this is close. This is close. Why is it a little off, actually? Oh, because of this. Because of this. What if... Okay, I think I found the 4 pixels. What if we went up another 4? Actually, it would be 6. What if we did like this? Well, I guess it could actually be whatever I want it to be. Is this in line? Almost. So close. What do we got going on here? That's 6. $325. Okay, well, I have some room for some more horizontal breathing space. What's 256 by... 256 times 1.2. Not an even number. That's fine. I may be overemphasizing proportionality, but I do care about it. 288. Yeah, we really can't support the 288. We could stretch to reach the other one. I'm wondering if I want a 1-line box for the character's temporary name. We're making a larger version of this, and so the way this is structured is there's like their given name. Arneo, you're kind of stoked. You have a way to control wind direction for your particle waves. You have a way to move the particles based on ship speed to make it look like the ship is moving through the waves, and the ship even has a wake now to show where it's turning. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Everything just suddenly came together. You didn't even need to learn shader code. That's huge. That feels like a big victory. Feels like a great victory. Hooray for not learning. There you go. Yeah, I don't know if we need a double high thing for their name. Maybe we just don't care and we just do what works, what looks right, and we don't care too much about the proportion. I kind of would like more of a margin around everything, like around everything, which we don't really have with this. Like we don't have a margin around this. I kind of want one, but I also kind of don't. It would get us to 336 though. Probably help us. But I also don't want to just use unnecessary pixels. We don't need them. So to there. Okay, what if I flipped this? What if I flip this on its head a little bit? So let's move this up to where we want it to be. See if we can rise to meet the occasion here. So this is the half scale one. What if I put this here? Kind of be what I want. Maybe. So I put this here like that. What are we talking about in terms of margin? 7. It's kind of weird. What was this anyway? 24. Two more. I'm okay with this. I think we're gonna go with this. We're gonna try this. Move this over some amount. Also, how wide should the text box area be? I think 128 is about the max of what I want to do. Maybe 130. This is significantly larger. Appreciate everyone hanging out. It's a pretty chill stream here. I think we're gonna have to start working on more substantial stuff next time. This is too much. I'm doing too much. Okay, from here, where's 64? Like that. Okay. We can refine this further. This doesn't need to be perfect on the first draft. I know I want it to be, but it doesn't need to be. This right in this direction. 64, 70. Weird. 64 is there. That. All right, let's fill this in, and then we'll say that's like good enough for now. Yeah, I think the double height here is bad. The double height here is bad. I'm gonna try something else. The disconnect right here is causing me a pain, but you know what? I could work around it. Could I resynchronize it if I do this? So what if we do this? What if we move this down? So that this is like... That's about right. What does that do for us here? Hey, phone thief. How's it going? Did you decide on how to resolve your concerns about making the arena view more prominent? Yes. So what we've done is we've kind of changed the viewport to 1080p, which lets us do some different proportions. So we've basically, ignore some of this. We're reworking a lot of this stuff. Like this is the wrong size, but like the central pillar here is probably what to look at, which is the relationship between the map, the cards, and like this banner. I think this is good. I think the cards are a wee bit small for a card game, but because the cards don't actually carry a lot of data, okay. You also need to change your game's canvas size and our canvas sizes. Yeah, we're in a rough spot because the art I kind of drew to be at 180p. And then the UI I drew to be at 360p. And so the original viewport was 360p. And then the in-game art was being doubled up from 180p to 360p. And I tried to fix it originally just by going up to 720p, but that didn't actually let me do the thing that I wanted. All I could do was like double or half the size of the UI. And then I had more flexibility in terms of the arena, but the UI expression was not great. So we ended up stepping up again to 1080p because that let me have a little more flexibility in terms of the ratio between the game art and the UI art. And I think we're in an okay spot. Like this wizard icon on the card is the same size as it here. It's gonna be the same size on these, so we're gonna scale things. We're gonna change. I'm redrawing the character sheet right now to hold these icons. I really liked this version of the character sheet. But we need to change it a little bit. I'm sure I'm gonna redo this a number more times, but okay, so this is good. This I really want to do something about. So what's the difference between here and here? Is it another 4? It's 5. That's 4. Okay, I think we can make this work. How's it going? This has gotten weird. I'm tempted to move this up so we get a little bit more padding on the bottom here. Because we have a lot of padding on top. 13 for some reason. It's a very awkward number. What if I do this? If we bring this down, be in line here. Can't. What if I do this? This is about what I want. Close. One down, down one more. All right. I'm conceiving of a solution here that I think will be acceptable to me. Thanks, Rhiannon. My mind is a raging torrent, filled with rivulets of thought, careening into a sea of possibility. All right, what size is this? B24. Close enough. Close enough. Close enough. What am I going to do about this part? How big is this now? 17. That's weird. All right. Well, let's fill some of this in, and then we can see what we can see how it looks, and we can see what we feel about it. I think we're close. I desire to have this be this an exact dimension is probably causing me more pain than it needs to. These not. Oh yeah. Phone Thief. You think most people who watch the stream genre are comfortable and perhaps even expect or desire dry content, like fixing sprites? Yeah, one hopes. One can still be embarrassed about it. But I appreciate that. there's 13 pixels extra. 13 plus 25, that's 38, isn't it? Yeah, whatever. Okay. Okay. Should just do this. Do this for consistency. And then we can see about moving everything up a little bit. This should really be two things. Two full-sized things here. It should be 38 and 38. 38. 40. Oh. Probably down is what we'll do. Put this down a little. Just having an imposter syndrome moment. Streams are good co-working streams. Always having an imposter syndrome moment. Yeah, I would always prefer to do things without compute shaders. I like compute shaders. They're very good at certain things. Alright, so we're getting close to what I'm gonna do, I think. I just expanded the text windows to just be bigger. We have a bit of a margin here that we could expand on. Got a really big one here. What is this? Is it 8? It's 12. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I don't quite know what to do with that, but... So size-wise, this is gonna be about the size. I really liked the original character sheet. It was the wrong size. Size-wise, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna take up about this much space. It might be a bit taller. Yeah, maybe taller is bad. Maybe I need to do some more things to prevent that, regardless of the cost. This all lines up so well. I love how well this lines up. And I'm just upset that I'm unable to achieve something similar. But we're going to try. We're going to try again. We're going to squeeze it a little bit. What is this? This is 18. Oh, that's interesting. This is still at 38, right? Oh, this is only 30. Interesting. We can tighten this up a little, I think. I think this is a little too tight. Like, there's not enough breathing room here. I think it's consistent with this, with the card language we have here. I think this is consistent, but I want to squoosh it down a little bit more. Which we have the room. We definitely have the room. I'm going to say forget proportion, and I'm going to just move things down. I'm going to move things down to the extent that I can. And we will see where that leaves us. So I want to move this down. I think this one is too big. This is just going to have the given name. I think it's too big. Phone Thief, you finally got your hands on a split keyboard with tenting poles to adjust their orientation, really helping correct your posture, increasing your word per minute, despite being new to it. Yeah, I do that for everything. So, like, I have the Kinesis Advantage 360s, which has this really nice tenting option. The tenting option, the thumb keys, all of that really helps. I love this keyboard. Yeah, the tenting is really powerful. I use that. I use this mouse now, the Logitech Ergo, whatever. Logitech Ergo S Plus. I really like this. I have multiple different vertical mice. This has a thumb trackball. Don't worry about that. It helps though. It has a wedge, which is really nice. So it's like I can put this on the wedge, and it's like a really nice tented mouse situation. I use this for work pretty much all the time. I'm using it to play games more, which is pretty gross, but it's not that bad usually. It's actually not that bad to play games with it. Oh, these are not going to line up because of the way that I've done this. So that's actually okay. I can actually live with this. Unless... These aren't going to line up unless I do something. But yeah, I've had a lot of problems with wrist issues, and this has all helped significantly. Warlock. Yeah, this is too big. I've made this too big, although the text is going to be double this size, isn't it? Or am I crazy? No, I guess it's not. I mean, this will be like this size, and I like that. Warlock. I could double stuff like that. But I need to identify whether it's a single line name, like Warlock. Like, this is good. Then I'd have to go back if it's like Plague Doctor. I have to go back to like this. All right. Maybe I have a solution. Maybe I've just thought of a solution. Just maybe to get rid of the cutesy given names. You're using very lightweight mice. Yeah, my solution is just the mouse never moves. But yeah, that seems like a good option as well. That's what was hurting me, actually, was like the wrist motions, especially these kinds of motions. I don't know what the right word is. That's like yaw. That was killing me. Wrist yaw. I still have my MX Master. I keep my MX Master for when I'm like deep in like the spreadsheet. When I'm like in a spreadsheet that has like hundreds of columns. I need that horizontal scroll wheel. I love the horizontal scroll wheel. The trackball solves a lot of that though, because most programs worth their weight just let me middle mouse stuff. Not Google. Google, in Google Sheets and stuff, the middle mouse does not give you access to the scroll wheel, which is truly insane. It treats it as like a click. Google kills me. Okay, I think I see what I want to do. I don't know if it's a good, but I see what I want to do. This is going to be good for the 2-line names. It'll probably feel a little empty for like single line names. Let me get back to this. But it's okay visually. It's okay. Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. There's room for another box here, which is neat. Hey, Azure Zero. You want to make a roguelike deck builder? You don't have a time for all the front-loaded art. Pick up assets. Pick up assets off of itch. I'm having to make the UI, and I don't think there's really much of a way around that because UI is very game specific, but all my sprites and everything I just picked up off of itch. And that's pretty good. I think I want to move this up. I think this line feels very thin. I think I want more of a banner around the character's name. What do we got in terms of spacing here? I also think there's like too much here and not enough here. There's nothing down here at the bottom. I think I want to move everything up a little bit and add a little bit of a margin at the bottom. How's it going? Welcome in. Yeah. You don't play high octane action games with a trackball mouse. You work. with a trackball mouse. Hey, Commander. This is okay. I want to put something here. Put another box here. But we'll hold off. We'll hold off. I think it's looking okay. Yeah, this feels too thin. This feels too big. I'm a Commodore commander. Maybe I'm a rear admiral. I liked the difference. I liked the differences that man, I liked this one so much better. I want to avoid mixel issues, which is what we'll run into if I just scale this one up. The icons need to be like this size, though. They need to be that double size. But I don't like what I ended up with. Let's see if we can squash this down a little. How tall would 288 be? Because I want room for the character sheets, and I feel like I'm not going to have room for the character sheets. I'm going to try to make 288 work. We're going to squash this whole thing down a bit. That's not the way to do that. It was 288. One more. About here. What's that? That's 6. This could work. This could work. We could make this work. We're gonna try this. Also, we're heading back into ads. Hold on. Hold on to your ads. I don't know why I always say that. $31. 30. We could maybe make this work. We could maybe make this work. Gonna move this down a little more. Like that. Although, wait, hold on a second. Is this 240? No, that's 238. Okay, good. Okay, I have an idea. Is it a good idea? There's no way to know. But I have it. We're going to try it. You can't stop me. You can't stop the signal. Yeah, I definitely wasn't going for that joke. I would also like Lord to be added to my title. Like Lord Admiral. I'll also take Big Boss. Big Boss would be fine. All right, we're gonna try to do this where we can squeeze 4 of these in here. We're gonna attempt this. We're gonna see if this is doable. Let's see if we do this in such a way where we get 4 of these spaces here. These aren't going to be quite... These aren't going to match up totally. We're going to do our best here. That should be fine. As long as the combination is right, I don't really care. As long as the combination feels good. How did I do this? Oh, I left a hole there. Okay. How did I do this? And how are we feeling about this? Let me just see something here. That's too big. Maybe not. I want to move this up a little. Probably going to spend this whole stream working on this character sheet. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay. Shadows are all in the wrong direction now. Commander, you've been struggling a bit to come up with a game idea. You want to make something really small before you start your new job, but you've been going through the same cycle of restarting every few days, weeks, and you have nothing despite starting on Monday. Ooh. Yeah. I've been there. I think everyone's been there. Pretty much anytime I get decently far on a project, eventually I usually get crippling enough doubt that I have to go do something else. Fighting through that is hard. And it gets exponentially harder the longer you work on something. Because at a certain point, you don't see the good stuff about it anymore. You only see the flaws. It's tough. Game jams can help. But They don't change the fundamental relationship to the work. All right, I like the squat character sheet thing better. Is there room, though, now? Well, for one thing, this is too big. This part is too big. That's fine. We can tighten that up. Five, 4, 3. 31 is awkward. Four is not better. Or is this 38 if it goes straight to here? It is. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do here. What we're gonna do with this. I'm gonna go right up to the edge here. Whoa, way to not be in line tool. Yeah, do what we can jam. That's a good idea. There's probably something happening. Probably something happening this weekend. So can I bring this in as well? Like, what should the size of the text field here be? This is clearly big enough. So if I put Warlock here, which is our canonically longest name here. Plenty of room for Warlock. Yeah, there were so many nice little coincidental things here with this other version of the character sheet. 76 by 30. Oh, this is only 30. Plague Doctor was a little tight. So I think we'll like the extra pixels for the verticality. All right, we'll try 76 or whatever. That is awfully small. I don't know. I don't like this character sheet. I don't like the up-resed character sheet. I'm unhappy with it at the moment. Might need to rethink. There's aspects of it that I'm okay with, but overall I'm not. I think this is in the center. It looks centered. Moonjam sounds interesting. Okay. OSG. That GD shader is going to work for you. Nice, nice, nice. GD shader for the win. What's happened here? It's my bad. Okay. The fuck is going on? Oh, I'm on squiggly line tool somehow. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Fortunately, this one was so good. I wonder if I could... If I actually could scale this one up predominantly, if that would actually be okay. I'm wondering if I actually should use the same pixel resolution as the icons, which would be mean using something like this, rather than what I'm doing here, which is like I'm using a higher res frame with lower res pixel art. To be fair, I'm doing that in the cards as well, though. Bit in trouble because of the mixed scales that we're using here. I think the UI scale, the pixel art scaling here looks okay between the card and like the unit icon. I don't think that's that jarring. Ooh, some of these cards don't work too well though. This is a little tight as far as fitting the sword onto the card here. Feels a little bad. Most cases it's fine. The sword feels a little rough. Thought I accounted for that. I chose 38 pixels. Maybe I should have gone with 40. Huh. That's weird. Is this 38 or is this 36? No, it's 38. Maybe I'm being too precious about the scaling. I'm gonna head out. All right, take it easy, Nanigans. You're not gonna miss much. I think I'm just gonna stare at this. It's not terrible. Hey, Vingren. How's it going? How's the project going? It's going okay. We're doing some UI scaling-ish stuff. We're trying to make it a little more balanced. We're working on this section right now, which currently we've just doubled up just to fill the space, but it shouldn't look like this. We're trying to make a... I'm not totally happy with this. We're trying to fix what I had before, which was like everything was very tight. Everything was very close together. It was a little much, but now we've got this, and this feels far apart. And I'm trying to scale up. I'm trying to rework some assets to fit it better at this scale. So we're working on that. Doing okay. We should really be focused on gameplay and mechanical stuff and everything, but I stare at this all the time. So when it bothers me, you know. How are you doing? Happy Thursday. Finished a tedious set of items earlier today. Oh, nice. It's nice to have that out of the way. Yeah, for me, the conflict is between drawing attention to the battlefield and having the battlefield really be the prominent aspect of the screen. But I still want the UI to be visible. We're in this kind of awkward space. You made augment chips which be used to set the slotting availability of augments based on types. Oh, nice. Very interesting. Raid alert. Our burring coming in. How's it going? Sorry for the alarms. How is the stream? What's up? We're just agonizing over UI scaling issues. What have you been up to? How was your stream? I'll give you that shout out. We're under attack. We were. We're over on Twitch as well. We're multi-streaming Twitch and YouTube. We just got raided. Yeah, I don't know. People are telling me this is better. I mean, obviously some of these elements are too small, like the character sheet's too small under this model. And I really do want to scale up the character sheet so that it's the same size as the battlefield elements. Like, so that those icons in the character sheet that are all the little armor and abilities and everything like that, I want those to be bigger. Card recognizability is much better now that we've got the icons in the upper left. I still feel like I'm not using the space very well. This is scaled all totally wrong. It's very funny. Doesn't seem right. Stream was fine. You're also working in Godot. Cool. What are you working on? What kind of project are you working on? It feels wrong. It just feels wrong. We're gonna do some stupid things that aren't gonna work. Trying some stuff here. Should I do a commit? I should probably do a commit. Yeah, I don't like this scaled up version of the character sheet. I preferred the distinctions here. I preferred this a lot better. I think there are problems with this. For sure. Like, there's definitely needs to be more room up here. Everything's a little cramped. But at the same time... Game where you play darts with a golf ball. That's a continuation of your GMTK Jam submission. That sounds fun. I really like that this card looks like kind of like a mouth. I don't want to lean into that more. It's impossible to do. It's a little tight. It's not really having the effect I want. Oh, I did that wrong. Oh, that's kind of cute. I think it's dumb, but it's kind of cute. Kind of a fun thing. Kind of like this. The game looks nice. Oh, thank you. Okay, yeah, I kind of like this. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of fun. Add some flavor. Probably need to move the text a little bit. Oh, that was not size. This is size. Yeah. Go back to 720p and see if I can make that work. I think maybe there's some things I could do. We'll have to try it though. Let's figure it out. I like this little, it's just a small thing, adding like little things to the card. But that feels fun. I'm enjoying that. Whatever I can do to make myself feel better about it is probably what I'm gonna do. I think I have a lot of uncertainty around the abilities and combat stuff, and I think I'm redirecting a lot of that anxiety and uncertainty into the UI. But I have this thing where I keep working on stuff until it feels right. I really have a hard time leaving something. I have a really hard time setting something down when it doesn't look quite right. But that often leads to not correctly prioritizing the work, which I know is important. Ooh, this is a little close here, but probably fine. Should I move this maybe? What this actually is like. Chill fruit. You dig all the pixel art. Looks good. Thanks. I didn't do all of it. Let's be super clear. All of the sprites and stuff is from an asset pack. But all the UI art and everything, like the way it's getting assembled together, that is me. But how's it going, Chill Fruit? Yeah, that's better. Visual coherence is a tough thing to manage. You're doing well. Hope I am too. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm messing with a bunch of UI scaling things. I'm having a bit of a hard time with that, but I was getting frustrated with, we were trying to take our character sheet and make like a higher res version, and I'm not feeling it. So I'm thinking of some alternative approaches. And I got frustrated, so I added little teeth to our cards. You're taking a break from the main project to work on an input tax update. Interesting. Oh, input tax. Right. Oh, what did I just do? I probably just did, didn't I? Let's see. Yep. cool. Just overwrote a different file. I'm gonna just update these cards real quick. Yeah, I need to be doing other things with my time, but you're always going to be staring at the UI, so I have like a very outsized opinion about what you should be paying attention to when you're doing that sort of thing. Like, I think I spend an inordinate amount of time like polishing the UI and things like that. I have a very high bar for what I think you need to, for not you, but what I think I need to hit for what is going to be like a commercial product, right? It's a small commercial product, you know. It's not going to be, I'm not going to sell it for much more than $5, but the baseline is so high now of what you need to achieve, what you need to hit. Yeah, I like these cards. I think I'm finally happy with the card design. And the teeth really made it for me. I was looking at them earlier and I was like, man, this looks a lot. This reminds me a lot of the demon from D&D. The old D&D demon. Where's that picture? Demon mouth. It's like from a very old... Oh, am I thinking of the Tomb of Horrors guy? No, I'm thinking of the statue. I guess I'm thinking of both. Let's see if I can get... Kind of thinking of a mix. Here's a picture. Oh, it's the old player's handbook. Let's see if I can get a picture. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. Oh my god, I can't get a good picture. I guess this will do. Yeah, it's kind of like a mashup of this demon, this demon mouth, and the Tomb of Horrors guy. I know it isn't either of these things, but it just makes me think of them, and it makes me happy. You could never sell anything in your life. It feels so wrong. I feel that. I get that. Think of Zubat or something like that. Okay, I don't know who Zubat is. Oh, a Zubat. Yeah, I could see the Zubat. I do know what Zubat is. Jack-o'-lantern, yeah. This is my struggle, which is like, how do you have a visual identity when you're like not very good at art and you don't have time to do a lot of detailed work? But I think this is okay. I think this is okay. I still think the cards are a little bare in terms of like information or detail or whatever, but I'm feeling okay about these now. I still think they're small relative to the UI, and I kind of need to think about that a little more carefully. I still need to try some stuff. I think I'm going to try scaling the UI back down to 720 and see if I can make something happen here. By just being a little more selective about some things. I think I can do it. I know everyone wants the UI to be really small and have a lot of negative space, but having a hard time. Having a hard time accepting that to this extent, to the extent. Sometimes less is more. Yeah, often less is more. Having the detail and the information where it should be is definitely an important part. I'm also just fighting the issue of like mixels, which is like pixels of like mixed resolution together. And I think it's mostly okay because the UI is like scaled up from the game. But I gotta be careful to maybe, to at least, to limit it to some extent. Some extent. Jacob, you do what I do, or you just keep trying stuff until it feels good. Yeah, that's really my workflow, and it's okay, but it sometimes means I end up spending a lot of time on work that doesn't matter, or work that's dependent on other work that hasn't been defined properly yet. You know how it is. I don't need to tell you. But yeah, we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying some stuff. You think that's exactly the right amount of information? I'm hoping so. It's very unusual for the cards not to contain any stats or anything like that. It's very unusual to have this little information on the card. But the thing is, when you equip the card, you'll get the character sheet, you'll get the equipment page come up, and that will have all the stats about it. You'll see how it affects their, attack stats or whatever. You'll see a bunch of stuff. You'll see a bunch of stuff. If anything, I should be focusing more on the equipment pages than I am on the character sheets. I think the equipment page is more important. But yeah, I'm hesitant to move away from this version of the character sheet and the equipment page. It just feels so proportional and nice compared to some of the new stuff I've been trying. But I do need to get these icons bigger. So I'll keep working on it. I have some ideas. But I appreciate everyone's input. It does help. When you're working alone, you really don't have anything other than your own instincts to work on, to go by a lot. So I appreciate everyone's inputs. Kind of given up on fitting all of this text onto 2 lines. I think I've accepted that this is going to be a lot of these are going to be 3-line things. I need to fix that. Yeah, I think I know what I need to do. I'm gonna try some more stuff. Honestly, scaling this up. The UI, though, is kind of locked to this resolution. I wonder. Oh, all of this is at the same resolution. That's so nice. That is nice. Yeah, we're gonna try some stuff. I know I keep mumbling that. I'm gonna do a commit. Added fangs to the cards. I'm just gonna commit with that name. The worst thing you can do is do a bunch of experiments on a dirty branch, on a branch that's got a lot of stuff going on. GitHub. Yeah, sure. Update, I guess. Best thing you can do before you're about to try something is commit. We're going to scale back down. I know this is going to wrong. This is going to be wrong. And there's going to be consequences, but I want to try something. I want to try something. This is going to break everything. There we go. Everything is broken. But it's okay. Committed it. Do this back down to 3x scale. Move this back like over here or something. Doesn't really matter where exactly. Something like that. Scale everything down. Maybe not everything. I gotta fix the card scales. So the cards don't like this UI scaling stuff. They really don't. It's specifically the card plugin that has a hard time. But it's easy enough to adjust. I'll just scale all this stuff back down. Ving, you should probably work on the character creation menu next, but you're terrified of save files. I get that. I totally get that. Save files are scary. We did the save system for this really early because we wanted undo redo. And I knew undo redo would be like a very specific and necessary requirement for this stuff. But yeah, it's scary. The thing I'm avoiding working on that's scary is actions, which is like players take actions based on like the items that they have equipped, and coming up with a system that describes and captures all of that behavior. That is the thing that's scaring me, because that is going to be tough. Well, we're going to do it. We'll get through it. Chill for it. You've only ever done saving via JSON, and you'll never do anything different ever again. Yeah, we're not doing JSON exactly, but we're not having to write anything to the disk right now. I should clarify. What we're doing is serialization in terms of like saving the state. I'm not that worried about saving it to disk, but yeah, it's scary. We're basically saving things as like, it's like JSON. We're not using JSON, but we'll probably just use var to byte or something like that. Var to string if I feel like I want it to be human readable, which I actually might want it to be human readable. Yeah, so what we don't want to have to, we don't actually want to have to, when we save and load, we don't actually want to have to reload scenes. So what we do, raid alert. What we do is we basically save everything out to dictionaries. And then when we deserialize, we just reset the state of whatever based on its serialized dictionary. So it's basically JSON, where it's that kind of organization. JSON by another name. Hey, Recrobus. Hey, game developers of Dallas. How is it going? There's quite a few of you, huh? Down there in Dallas. How's it going? Game developers of Dallas. What have you been working on? You're catching us at the end here, but we'll carry this raid train forward is what we're probably going to do. I have a meeting in a few minutes. that I gotta run to. Spooky game. Ooh, making spooky game. I like spooky game. We're working on a roguelike deck builder. Kind of a fantasy D&D based kind of roguelike deck builder. What's this one size? 18 by 16. This will be the same thing. 18 by 16. Then they can have the same positioning. We added little teeths to our cards. I'm very happy with our little teeths. WebGL. Yeah. Oh, that sounds like you got some good progress, Ving. But yeah, I'm working on some UI scaling stuff. I'm not happy with the relative scale of the different elements of the UI, but we're working on it. We're working on it. All right, did I handle the card layout? Is the card layout size? We just downscaled the viewport. Things are busted. Okay, so something is happening now. The cards are at native scale. Feels weird. This feels wrong. Why are the cards so small? Gotta change a bunch of stuff. Just a few. You did a co-working. Nice. You've been working on a couple different projects. A horror game using a mobile phone as a flashlight. Ooh. Metroid Brainia, inspired by blueprints and woodland animals. Fun. So all these need to be scaled back down. We've been playing around with UI scaling a lot, and I have not found a solution that I'm happy with. I think I'm gonna have to go back to 1080p and just do things a little differently. I don't know. At least we'd have a clean commit. At least we have a clean commit just before this. UI looks pretty great. You've been here once or twice before. Yeah, it's a matter of proportioning it all. And I'm having a hard time with that. I'm having a hard time with that, if I'm being honest. Why are the cards so tiny? Very strange. Oh, the cards need to be scaled up to 2x. I could do that. I could do that. Yeah, I don't know. People keep telling me that this scaling is too much. And I think I can work with that a little bit and change some scaling of some stuff, but like I think I need to understand how we're doing this mixed scaling a little more and do it a little more manually. Like make some elements purposely smaller and some elements purposely bigger and do a little bit of resizing that on my end for it to look right. But I have to go to this meeting that starts in literally 1 minute. So we're going to carry this raid train forward. We're going to keep it going. We'll probably go hang out with Boolean, who's on their last stream before vacation. Oh, well, then obviously we have to go hang out with Boolean. But thank you again, Game Developers of Dallas. I think you'll like Boolean. They're doing some good stuff. But yeah, thank you all. We'll be back tomorrow. We will be here tomorrow. I'm going to try to do a little bit of more stuff in my own time, and maybe I'll be happier with the UI and we can start working on the real stuff, but it's tough. I'm having a hard time with it, but it's tough. You can find somewhere to go. Don't worry about you. I wish we could take you with us. I wish I could take you with us, Vang. But thank you. Thank you for hanging out and I appreciate you coming back. And everyone else hanging out on the YouTube, I appreciate you as well. Hopefully I'll see you again. See you again soon. Thanks everyone for watching. We've been working on Party Wipe, our roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. I will be back tomorrow, so hopefully I see you all again soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, you.